What for? It's not for fun. I was about Heidegger's laws of lecturing, 32, 33, mentioning that his only reference is Nietzsche, and that overcoming nihilism was his ambition. I personally admit that nihilism is here. Nietzsche advertised its coming in 1884, and he advertised that it was coming for 2 centuries. So those of you who are able to a bit of ethos will know how long we'll have to deal with nihilism in the years to come. Now, is overcoming nihilism the common task of what has been called philosophy and theology? It's always embarrassing to speak of the task, for we have many tasks, as it is embarrassing to speak of the greatest philosopher of theology, for there are always many greatest. But in this case, we are facing with the devaluation of all values an important challenge. This challenge is faced, as they can, by politicians, many people do their best to give new values, or to try to find that after all what you are doing is not valueless. Some people seem to be despairing of the state we are and say, well, we are living in a postmodern situation, and in this postmodern situation, whatever we have to do is to survive and deconstruct the fact. Well, as I've been asked to be optimistic, let us say that the common task of overcoming nihilism might be a good task in common precisely for those people who are called philosophers and those who are called theologians. They are called philosophers just before they are teaching faculties of philosophy. They are called theologians just before they are teaching departments of religious studies. But we also know that the great benefit of today's university, interdisciplinary university, that nothing stops us to do philosophy and theology. Philosophy one day, theology another day, or to teach philosophy and theology. And with a bit of luck, we might be able to save the world. Thinking won't save the world. It's Heidegger knew it, after all, who says in a very late text, it's an interview which was published after his death. In the interview to German weekly with Der Spiegel, he says, only the God can save us, which is mostly analytical. Only the God can save us. So, it's no theological problem to save the world. If there's a Savior, he's not a theologian. It's no philosophical problem to save the world. It may be a philosophical and theological problem to help the world to live during nihilism. Now, I don't think that overcoming nihilism is only a theological and philosophical task. Or anyway, I don't think it's a privilege of thinking. After all, love or charity may be more effective as overcoming nihilism. But very remarkably, a respectable theologian of the 20th century, Hans Forsen Balthasar, used to say in private conversation that the only answer to Nietzsche was Thérèse of Lisieux, was undeniably no philosopher and no theologian. She nonetheless claimed that she had a doctorate. Indeed, she claimed she had a doctorate. So, charity may be more useful to say the word than thinking. But here a question, after all, if we read, or if you wrote, the writings of Thérèse of Lisieux, we would perhaps find there a lot of thinking. May there be a way out of nihilism in the absence of thinking? I don't think so. We are not only rational animals, all scientists are rational animals, all non-scientist beings are rational animals. May there be a way out of nihilism in the absence of thinking? I decidedly don't think so. Unfortunately, I'm only an intellectual. Unfortunately, we are only intellectuals. That's why I was mentioning Thérèse of Lisieux. By the way, she might have met Nietzsche. You know, we learned very quickly, that she went with her parents to a pilgrimage to Rome. And they stopped their way to Rome at Nizza. If they were to take a ship to Rome. Now, she stopped at Nizza in days Nietzsche was there. Now, try to imagine the meeting of the two people who, after all, were perhaps the two major religious figures of their age. One religious figure who hated religion, but hated brutal hell, another figure which might help us to go further than Nietzsche prophesies. Anyway, I certainly shan't claim that I have an experience of thinking.